When Elka wanted to stop Orin from escaping, a black wolf came to Orin's rescue and stood in his way. At that moment, Elka's companions arrived and informed him, "Chief Elka, we found Iona, ma'am." But then they saw a black wolf ready to fight with their chief and were startled. "Black wolf? What's a black wolf doing here?" They voiced their thought loudly. Hearing this, the black wolf countered, "That's what I'd like to ask. What's the Silver Wolf tribe doing here?" On the other hand, Orin, who saw the chance of escape as those wolves didn't seem to be on the same side, so he requested the black wolf, "I don't know who you are, but those silver wolves are trying to kill me. Please save me," he begged. Seeing him so pitiful, the black wolf told him to go. "I received a request to go out to meet you. That's why I came here." Orin was delighted. "Really? Thank you." Then he hurried away from those silver wolves. He was internally proud of being a rich guy in his hometown. Elka wanted to chase him again, but the black wolf stood in his way, keeping his eyes on him, so he told him to step aside. "Black Wolf, we have some unfinished business with that cat, so it would be good if you don't meddle in." But the black wolf firmly refused. "No can do. That guy is actually the mansion owner's son whom our boss owes a favor to. We've been asked to pick him up." Seeing him not budging from the way, Elka gritted his teeth. "I have already talked to you nicely. Now if you don't step aside, we'll attack." The black wolf shrugged his shoulder as he got ready for the fight. Sure, give it a try, but Silver Wolf, you're well aware, right?" Then he grinned and stood majestically. "That we, the Black Wolves, have both the strength and build that is in a league of our own, compared to the rest of you." The Black Wolf squinted his eyes, bared his fangs, and then introduced himself. "My name is Harp. I'm the right-hand man of Mr. Hagel, the Black Wolf tribe's chieftain. I can easily take down 3 silver wolves without breaking a sweat." He was still bragging about his strength when suddenly a massive fire caught him and roasted him until he was thoroughly cooked. All his smooth fur got burnt and smoke was coming out. Well, he got nicely charred. Elka and his companion were shocked by this sudden incident. They were momentarily stunned. What? What happened? At that moment, Iona came to Elka's side and stated naturally, "I attacked because something looked suspicious." Theo also reached them and praised Iona generously. "Good job, Iona. Otherwise Elka, Elki, and Elko would have almost gotten into big trouble, nya." And then he asked the wolves, "What are you doing here, nya? Are you not going to the 99th floor, nya?" They were surprised to see Boss Theo with Iona. Elka greeted him and answered, "We're here to meet Iona, ma'am, because of something that happened on the 67th floor." He also informed them about the conversation with the receptionist. "They said she came to the Granner village, so we came here, but I had no idea that you were together." Hearing it, Iona asked him, "Did something unusual happen on the 67th floor?" Then she shook her head and stated, "No, let's set it aside for now. There's something more important than that right now." The orange cat immediately filled them in and asked, "That's right, nya. Elka, did you see Orin, nya?" Elka and his companion glanced with the corner of their eyes at the nicely cooked and charred black wolf and informed Theo, "We saw that cat, Orin, running away and tried to catch him, but this black wolf got in our way, and the rest of the history they know it already." Iona became silent for a moment, but then she suggested, "Let's follow along the path for now and head towards the mansion of the Grainer village." At the Israels, Orin's father's mansion, a big black wolf was sitting with Orin's father. Even the sofa was a bit cramped for him. His one eye was very sharp and had a long scar on the other, which gave him a ferocious aura. He was none other than the Black Wolf chieftain, a free mercenary, Hegel. They were sitting in Israel's study room, waiting for Harp and Orin. After waiting for so long, Israel commented, "Harp is late. I asked him to pick Orin up after hearing he came to the village with suspicious guys." Basically, he was complaining to the big guy, who responded calmly and politely, "Please, wait a bit longer. That guy is my right-hand man. He's good at his job." At that moment, the door suddenly burst open and Orin barged into it. He loudly called his father. He had come running, so he was out of breath and sat on the floor to catch some air. Seeing his son's situation, Israel got worried and came to his side and asked, "Orin, where have you been that you're only coming now? What about Harp? Didn't you meet him on the way here?" While he was worried about his son, he also asked about the main question, which was by what purpose Orin had left the home. He probed, "Where's the food? You look like you're here empty-handed. Did you not get any?" Hearing these questions, Orin froze. He was a bit startled, but then composed himself and started crying pitifully, holding his father's cloth. "Oh, dear father! When I went to the merchant village, I was swindled by a goblin who had conspired with Theo, and I ended up losing all my money." His father was shocked, but still inquired with a clear head, "What? Theo? Are you talking about Theo, the naive yellow cat, your childhood friend? Why would such a kind guy swindle you?" Seeing his father was not buying his excuses, that shithead tried the aggressive style and made up some story. "Kind? He's an extremely wicked guy. Even though I explained that I needed to buy food for the villagers, they threatened me into signing a contract and made me work. And someone was controlling him. There was someone calling himself the Black Dragon despite lacking horns or wings." Orin was twisting all the truth and making it like he was a very justice-oriented guy. "Well, the story doesn't end here, my friend. Listen to it." Orin continued with his lies. He's even managed to deceive the rabbit tribe into working under him with his threat and lies. His father was even starting to believe it. At that moment, the silent big guy sitting on the sofa slapped the table so hard that it broke into pieces. Well, generally big guys always try to talk with their fists. Don't get offended, guys. Back to the story. Both cats were startled by this sudden event. The big guy who had just broken the table spoke, "You're not lying, are you?" His voice didn't have any fluctuation at all. Both of the cat's legs had gotten soft and they fell on the ground. The calm and collected big guy had turned into a scary one. The ferocious aura was oozing out of him. He commanded Orin to tell the truth. "Impersonating the great black dragon is a grave crime that deserves more than just death. So speak truthfully. Whatever you had spoken, is that really true?" Orin was intimidated but still went with his lies. Yes, I'm not lying. He really called himself the Black Dragon. He was lying through his teeth, but still making his plan in his head. This Hegel guy, the Black Wolf chieftain, he was well known as part of a race that reveres the great Black Dragon, although Orin had no idea why he was at his house. But that was perfect for his plan. He wanted to make use of him and exploit this part of him, because that Black Wolf would get easily agitated if someone used the great Black Dragon's name falsely. Orin knelt to the ground and requested pitifully, "Mr. Hegel, please defeat that vile Theo, and this mastermind who is impersonating the great black dragon and is engaging in these despicable acts. They deserve to be punished." Hearing his speech full of justice, Hegel agreed, "Very well, lead the way. I'll see them myself and make the judgment." And then he stood up to follow him. Orin grinned as his plan was going the way he had planned. At that time, a servant cat came and informed Israel, Mr. Israel, you have guests outside. Hearing it, it seemed that Orin knew who could it be, so he decided to execute his next step of the plan. Just in time. They're here. I'll face them first. But before that, he asked his father, Father, you have that thing in the warehouse, right? His father didn't get it. First then, he realized, Don't tell me. Are you asking of that thing? Orin laughed sinisterly. He 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 he. What else could it be? That thing I need the most right now. Anyway, outside the mansion, Theo, Iona, and the Elka group stood and were waiting for Orin. But he had not come out yet, so Theo started calling him. Orin! Come out, nya! Orin! Even upon calling, no one responded. Theo started to wonder. There's no answer, nya. Not even a single cat is coming out to greet us. Seeing the situation, Elka suggested, Let's force our way in. But Theo refused. We can't do that, nya. That's rude, nya. But Elke didn't think it was any kind of rudeness. Boss Theo, I do not agree. Talking about manners to a bastard who ran away is a bit. They were still in conversation when the mansion's door opened, and Orin came out laughing. He had changed his clothes and was wearing proper noble attire now. He stood with both hands on his waist and immediately started insulting them. To think you lowly bastards have followed me all the way here, I'll compliment you for that. Welcome to my mansion. Hearing his nonsense, Theo made a direct hit to his pride. Oh, well, to be exact, isn't this your father's mansion and not yours, Nia? Orin got irritated hearing this. It'll be mine in the end, you know? Hm, so you treated me horribly like a slave, didn't you? You won't be able to do it here anymore, Theo, he threatened, and pointed his fingers to him. Even Elka was getting bored by his nonsense. While Theo stated the fact, you're an intern because of the contract, nya. Iona also supported it. Contracts made in the tower are absolute. If you don't fulfill it, you'll be punished severely. Theo did not want to argue with that shithead, so he directly opened the status window. If you don't come immediately, the contract will be extended by 30 days, Inya. Seeing that Theo was taking action, he panicked. Ah, not that. But then he remembered his plan and composed himself. Ahem. Can I take a look at the contract again then? He asked. Theo didn't get it. What? Call for the status window and see it yourself, Naya. Orin got flustered. I, I'm asking to compare if they're the same and if there's any mistake. And then he came down from stairs while searching for something in his pocket, evading Theo's eyes. It can just be for a brief moment. It'll be over in no time. Theo agreed. Fine, Naya. Orin was waiting for this chance, and he took out a jar full of green liquid. He wanted to throw it on Theo, but Elka's ears twitched. He immediately warned Theo, Boss Theo, but he was late. Theo looked up at him. Huh? What are you saying? But at that moment, Orin came closer to him and threw the green liquid. Take this. Seeing green suspicious liquid, Theo was startled and panicked. Then suddenly, a blue film appeared, and the green liquid couldn't get through it, which saved Theo. Even Orin was shocked at how did that happen. All the things happened within a few seconds. Orin saw that the blue circle had enveloped Theo and understood that it was a protection spell. But Theo shouted at him, Why were you trying to pour that onto Minya? Seeing that Theo was fine, Elka slapped Orin so hard that he flew and rolled down 2 feet away to the bottom of the stairs. He groaned in pain. Ugh, I failed. But then he saw that the jar with green liquid was snatched by Iona. She stated, It's a contract nullification potion. The cat was now scared that his plan had been revealed. Iona continued with her statement. When it's sprayed on the opponent's status window, the contract materializes itself immediately, and the agreement can be nullified. So you had this precious item with you. What a waste. While Elka was really at him this time, that little, I'll give him a good scolding right now. But that shithead shouted at him, You shut up. Boss Theo was also fuming. Orin, you're such a jerk, Naya. Just so you know, this won't end with just a 30 days extension, ya. Seeing that Theo was threatening him, Orin also shouted, Now that it's come to this point, then I shall do it properly. And then he grabbed Iona's collar and captured her like a gangster. He commanded everyone, Don't move! If you don't nullify the contract now, this little magician rat will lose her life. Theo and the wolf group were shocked by his treacherous behavior. Theo shouted at him, Orin, what are you doing, nya? Hurry and release Iona nya. He wanted to come out of that protection spell, but it was to no avail. This protection shield isn't disappearing, nya. I can't get out, nya. Elka frowned and gritted his teeth at Orin. I thought you knew well that you'll immediately die in our hands if you harm Iona. But hearing it, Orin laughed sinisterly. Kike, don't move. Do you think I won't do it? His extended sharp nail glinted in the light. And there's no way I'd have done this without having something to back me up, don't you think? And then he shouted to call the big black wolf Hagel. It's time now. Please beat these bastards up, Mr. Hagel. Hearing it, the wolf group and Theo became alert. But it was all silent. No one responded. It was really an unexpected sight. Orin panicked internally. Mr. Hagel? Why aren't you coming out? Mr. Hagel? He tried calling him twice, but nothing happened. Iona had her patience running out. Oi, you want Hagel to beat us up? She was just speaking, but Shithead was being a great shit here shouted at her, Shut up, you! But then he realized something. He was not able to move his body. It had stuck into one position. Iona easily released herself from his arms while stating, Oh, I've cast a paralyzing spell on you. She picked up her staff. You won't be able to move for the time being. And then she stood gracefully while taunting Orin. Did you think I was weak because I'm small? Oh boy, you're gravely mistaken. I'm Archmage Iona, the leader of the Magician Association. It was a great sight to see Orin's face. He was shocked, and his face had turned blue. Iona held her staff against his neck and stated her final decision. I believe you know that you have to pay the price for undermining me and betraying Theo. Orin was having a hard time digesting the fact that he had come across an archmage. On top of that, he got into her blacklist. But what scared him more was just what kind of connection had Theo, that bastard, made? Well, whatever thought Orin's head was having, the boss Theo was in a great mood even inside the protection spell. This place is actually cozier than I thought, Naya. See you guys in the next video. Have a good day ahead. Bye.